aptitude test.
The man came home from work and his wife says, "How was work today, folks? How was work today, dear?" And he said, "Terrible. They gave us aptitude tests and I flunked." And she says, "That's dreadful." He says, "Yes, it's a good thing I own the company."
And
another one?
Swedish.
Oh, this Swedish construction crew got a contract to refurbish an apartment on the 4th floor. And late in the afternoon, 4 or 5 o'clock, the foreman came around to see if they were ready to go home. And he cupped his hand and he called up to the 4th floor, "Hey, you guys finished?" And they called down, "No, we're Swedish." Now listen, we're into a very, very interesting part. So the great, wonderful, magnificent General Electric backed down. They were wrong to take a chat with Glendora. They were wrong to take SS Glendora off of the TV and put in movies. So they had to admit they were wrong. They never did. They just said, "Come back, we want to talk to you." So I hopped the train across the state of New York, Rochester, Syracuse, Utica, Schenectady, and we have a conference. And who was at that conference? Well, the program manager, and it is not Al Zink. And we have Hal Green, who is a director, a TV director for WRGB, Channel 6. We're going to have Glendora come back and do the program, and it's going to be 45 minutes, Monday through Friday. I was looking for experience on TV. By now, I had pretty much the experience I needed, but this was going to cap it off. By the time I started doing this program, 45 minutes a day, I had the TV down that I knew I should have. And what was the format going to be? Glendora says, well, Glendora could have an old car, and kids and Glendora could be playing in the, playing with the old car. Well, no, let's have a spaceship. Why, folks? Why a spaceship? This was the year of Sputnik. Sputnik was up there. And so that's what it became. Glendora and Satellite 6. And the costumes. WRGB, the management, told somebody, one of the wives of one of the employees, to make a costume. And you will see that costume many times in many pictures. And didn't she do a good job? And then there was the set. And up comes Jim Fisk again with magnificent creativity and instant creativity. You will see his set. He had, where did he get this globe? It was this big. And it said a band around it that said Satellite 6. And it had antennae sticking out of it. And that was sitting on the set. And then he made a spectrum in the sky of different, what do you call those things when they, hold it just a second, folks, hold it. What do you call those, like the sword and the...
Constellation?
Yes, that's the word. Okay, back, honey.
All right.
Yeah, the constellations. Stephanie helped me with that. These constellations. And in these constellations were Porky Pig, Porky, and Felix, Bugs Bunny, and when you watch up Doc, and Daffy Duck, all of the cartoon characters. Magnificent piece of work. And at WRGB, they had, well, let me go back. When I went to WRGB Channel 6, when they called me back and asked for the conference, did I go to the old bowling alley down on the Schmohawk River? I did not. I went to Balltown Road in Niskayuna, a suburb of Schenectady. And here is WRGB, acres and acres, with a huge lawn and a huge building, 2-story, specially built for WRGB Channel 6. It is Taj Mahal from beginning to end, folks. Can you imagine? Huge parking lot. And so, guess what they gave me for a control panel for my spaceship? The old control panel that was in WRG where the shows were put on, you know, where you have the director sitting there taking care of the video, and he's taking care of camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, and he has an audio man over here. Well, they gave me that control panel, a real good looking control panel, a little dilapidated. It had been used many times at the old WRGB in the old bowling alley. Isn't that a great set? And you will see that in the pictures too. So there we were, a beautiful set, a beautiful show. 9 commercials every day, 3 per every 15 minutes. And what a thrill it was. You knew that you had a vital position. You knew that you were in a vital spot. You knew that you were helping people. You knew that you were helping people make decisions, good decisions. It was a grand place to be. Have you any other hints, dear?
Yeah. Let's see, 800 letters.
What, dear?
800 letters.
Oh. The Warner Brother cartoons had been played over and over and over again. And they were pretty well worn out. So we had new cartoons. And one of the new cartoons was Felix the Cat. And WRGB was very generous about having employees. They had employed 2 artists. They employed 2 people in the promotion department. Everywhere there was a manager and an assistant. And Johnson came up with the idea to have a Felix the Cat fan club. And we had little cards with Felix the Cat on them and my signature on the card. And to write in, and these cards were numerated. They were numbered. Guess what, folks? The first week I announced them on the TV, I came in Monday from Buffalo, and here's 800 letters. 800 letters. Well, my mother came to the rescue, and she answered every one of those 800 letters. The next day there were 300. The next day there were 200. Toward the end of the week, they were only 100 a day. But my mother made out those Felix the Cat cards, put the name on the card, and then addressed the envelope and mailed it. Now, General Electric, being as big as it was, could have paid for all that and financed that. But we didn't ask them to. We did the hard labor, working it, our fingers to the bone and coming up with bony fingers. But we did it. I'm going to ask you to meet somebody. Hold the line. Are you ready?
Yes. 3, 2, 1.
Folks, I have somebody I want you to meet. Hello. Is this Wayne Collins?
Yes, it is.
Wayne Collins, can you get closer to the phone, dear?
Yes, is that better?
Yes, that's better, dear. Now, Wayne, I would like to have you meet my friends, the YouTubers. And YouTubers, I would like to have you meet my friend, Wayne Collins. Wayne, did you watch the Satellite 6 in Glendora program?
I did, yes.
Tell us about it. What year was that?
Well, it came on in the fall of 1958.
1958?
Yes.
And tell us what you remember.
Well, it ran through into 1962. And we're on the spaceship, and you had a unique costume. You had the flared shoulders and the aluminum sleeves. And your boss was the Mooney Moolah. You'd get on the telephone and you'd hear all of this gibberish. And it was aluminum spelled backwards. He'd be always upset and give you a hard time.
Mooney Moolah was aluminum spelled backwards.
Yes. And he never got the best of you. Never. And you showed a different type of cartoons as time went on. Earlier you had shown the Merry Melodies and the Looney Tunes. And later you were showing Felix the Cat and the Clutch Cargo cartoons.
Clutch Cargo? That was the cartoon where they actually had lips moving?
Yes, there wasn't much else moving, but you could see them. I remember that. I thought, I wonder why there's...
Wayne, how old were you?
Well, when it first came on, I would have been 10.
You were 10?
Mm-hmm. And then many of us were still watching this when we were 14. Because I was in 9th grade. And I have recollections, one of our teachers had been over to the WRGB studio.
One of the teachers had been over to WRGB Channel 6.
Yes, he had been over there the night before when you were doing your show live, of course. And you were advertising the Jiffy popcorn. And evidently that was the one where it would have the foil dome over it as it popped.
Do you remember Jiffy popcorn, folks? It came in a little aluminum platter, and you would work it back and forth over the electric burner of your stove, and then it would start popping, right? And then a great big thing came up like that. Well, what happened, Wayne?
Well, as you would peel it away, and this would have had to have been popped before the show came on, because you wouldn't have been able to do it during the show. You were opening to show how you would peel away the foil, and it would invariably spill in all directions. And the next day in class, when they knew that the teacher had been over there, and they were very interested to hear about him observing your program when he was there. And
I didn't get your point, honey. The next day?
Yeah, the next day the students were asking him about...
Oh, the students were asking him.
They were asking him what he had seen about Glendora and Satellite 6, which had been in progress at the time he happened to be there. And they said, oh, yeah, she spilled the popcorn on the floor and we saw you picking it up. And he was puzzled. He said, I don't see how you could have seen that because there was no lighting there in the place where I was doing that. So whether they actually saw it or guessed it that he was picking it up, I don't know. But maybe they did see it. I didn't. Whether I missed it that night or didn't see it or what, I don't know.
What else do you remember, dear Wayne Collins?
Oh, I remember you did. You had little short episodes of Kukla, Fran, and Ollie.
Really?
Yes. And I remember one in particular. And Ollie, of course, was the dragon puppet. And there was an older dragon lady puppet that was supposed to be his mother, and a child dragon puppet that was supposed to be his niece. And the niece was telling on Ollie, saying to the mother, oh, Uncle Ollie stays out till all hours, and he has oceans and oceans of girlfriends. And the older dragon was not amused by any of this. I remember that stuck in my mind for some reason.
Kukla, Fran, and Ollie, and then what, dear?
And the Felix the Cat cartoons were very popular, and he had his own theme song.
What was his song, dear?
Oh, it went, Felix the Cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat, Whenever he gets in the fix, he reaches into his bag of tricks. Felix the cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat. You'll laugh so long, your sides will ache, your hearts will go pitter-pat. Watching Felix, the wonderful cat. And
That's good. Wayne, would you just say the words? Because I don't think they came in very clearly, honey. Just say
okay,
them.
it was Felix the cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat. Whenever he gets in a fix, he reaches into his bag of tricks. Felix the cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat. You'll laugh so hard your sides will ache, your hearts will go pitter-pat, watching Felix, the wonderful cat.
Oh, that's cute, yes. And then do you remember Mr. Magoo?
Yes, yes. He was the little old man who was nearsighted, and he'd go to mail a letter and put it in the trash can, things like this.
Yeah, that sounds like me now.
And
sounds like me for the last 5 years.
Drove the car, and there was one where there was an episode where he was dancing with this lady, and I think he had an orchid or something, or rose in his mouth, and they had a wind-up record player that he was playing to dance to the music.
Anything else you remember, Wayne?
Oh, yes, you had the constellations that had been designed by Uncle Jim Fisk, and they showed the Warner Brothers cartoons like Porky the Pig and Donald Duck. And you had a big silver globe-like in there, as I remember.
A what, dear?
A big silver globe, a big silver, maybe it was a miniature spaceship or something. Do you remember that?
No, honey, I don't even quite get what you're talking about.
Well, it was a round object you had there, round like a ball, and it was...
Oh, well, that was a satellite, dear.
Yes.
And,
a satellite. You were also in the satellite, and you advertised the Honer Melodica back then, and I clearly remember the one night when you dropped it. You play something on.
Hold it, honey. Tell them what the Honer Melodica was. It's a long size...
you'd blow it...
Harmonica, really? With keys.
You into it like a harmonica, and it had keys like a piano. And you'd play the keys with one hand. You'd hold it with one and play the keys with the other while you were blowing into it.
And then what happened?
You dropped it one night. And you said, "You're out of luck, it isn't broken."
He said I dropped it, folks. And then I leaned over and I picked it up and I tried it out again. And then what was said?
You said, "You're out of luck, folks, it isn't broken."
Anything else you remember?
Oh, well, let's see.
How about Cocoa Marsh?
Oh, I thought that was on the SS Glendora when that spilled on the floor.
Oh, no, it was very much on Satellite 6.
Oh, it was, okay.
And how about any other of the commercials that went on, can you remember? La Rosa Macaroni.
Yes, you had that one. Those are the only ones I remember from the Satellite 6 offhand.
And do you remember the control panel?
Yes, very clearly. You'd been sitting at that. And, to get back to the class where they were discussing what the teacher saw when your show was in progress, they said, "Well, what does Glendora do when those cartoons are running? What's she doing then?" And he said, "Oh, she sits there and looks at the monitor and watches Kukla."
Yeah, well, that was accurate. Wayne, how old are you now?
Now I'm 78.
No, Wayne, tell the people, do you hear from people that they remember watching the SS Glendora?
Oh, I do. Several of my school classmates remember watching you. And I hear from them.
And how do you hear from them? Do they bring it up, or you say?
Oh, I bring it up. I asked Pam Lavin was one who contacted you.
Pam Lavin.
Yes, and she used to watch SS Glendora. She was an avid fan. And,
Well, folks, Wayne is usually much more articulate about that than he is right down today. But every day, at least 2 or 3 people say they talk about how they used to watch the program. And you know, people, this is how many years ago, Wayne? 1970.
well, 70 years ago would have been 1956, which was when it went off the air on WRGB. And even before that would have been 1955 when it came on in the summer of 55. So that's 71 years ago.
What did you like about the show?
Now, which one are you asking me about, SS Glendora or Satellite 6?
What did you like about the show, dear?
Which show do you mean? Was it SS Glendora or Satellite 6?
Well, right now we're featuring Satellite 6, dear.
Well, I like the fact of when you'd comment or maybe tell a joke in between the cartoons and you'd put your own spin on things. That's what made it interesting.
Well, listen, this is good. Is there anything else you want to tell the YouTubers before you leave?
No, just that it was all a part of growing up back then, and it certainly added something to our childhoods. We used to look forward to seeing you, and you were a very popular television personality.
And Wayne, tell the people where you lived.
In Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
And how far was that from Albany? About a half an hour or?
I think
no,
more than that, I think.
About an hour, huh?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and of course you didn't have the kids with you on the show for Satellite 6, which you did on the SS Glendora, so the Satellite 6 was a solo performance on your part.
Yes, we've all, Listen, Wayne, this is Wayne Collins in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and we thank you so much for sharing your memories with us, dear.
Well, you're very welcome.
Bye-bye, Wayne. Grace and peace.
You as well. Goodbye, Glendora.
Now, folks, Anna Mae Hall owned the house right next to WRGB. In fact, it was her daddy, a farmer, who sold the land to WRGB, that expansive territory of television. And what else was it we wanted to tell the folks?
Regent Street.
What, dear?
Regent Street.
Yeah, we rented a house on Regent Street, my mother and I. And my brother, Ralph Arnold Folsom Jr., didn't think it was good enough. So we rented another one on Palmer Avenue. And the Freihofer man came by. And my mother was always a good customer to anybody who sold things door to door. When the Freihofer bakery man was selling cupcakes and cake and bread and pies, my mother would buy them. And the Freihofer man received such big order from my mother that when he went out of the door, he was so happy, he shut the door a little too forcefully and went away with the doorknob in his hand. Can you tell me what else, honey, we can tell the folks?
Yeah, Friends of Animals and Rescuing Cats.
What was that, dear?
Friends of Animals and Rescuing Cats.
Yes, my attention was divided. I had this love of animals, and when I saw cruelty to animals and animals in desperation, I would drop everything to rescue them. And I saved several kitties, and I worked with Friends of Animals. Alice Harrington, the founder of Friends of Animals, way back in the way back. And well, that's all. I shouldn't have done it. I should have been putting the attention into the children more. than I did into the animals. What else? But there was that dichotomy. And then what, hon?
WRGB building.
Oh, it really was magnificent. It was 2 stories, and the floors, folks, were beautiful green tile. And every night, and they had a huge cleaning crew come in every night. And they had this thing that they went over the floors with, it went around and round and round and polished them.